Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be working on my 2000 Dodge Dakota 4.7. I have a check engine light coming on and off, and I wanted to show you what I found. Also, back here under the tree because it's hot. This is a nice shady spot. So when your check engine light comes on, first thing you need to do is find out what it is. So on the Dodges, I don't know what all years, but this one in particular, you can turn the key 3 times to the run position and it'll display the code where your mileage is. So let me show you that real quick. You're gonna turn it to the run position 3 times and then off. So run, off, and don't hit the start. 1, 2, 3. And then right where your mileage is, see P0551 and P0455. We're going to address the P0551. The 445 is an emissions code, actually evaporative emissions code. So that ended up being just a loose gas cap. I fixed the gas cap, but I hadn't cleared the code. Quick Google search will show you P0551 is a power steering pressure sensor. And there's a few things that could be. It could be the sensor, wiring, a loose plug, and even the PCM. So we're going to go with the simplest. We're going to look at the sensor first. As I mentioned before, this is the 4.7 V8 Dakota, and here's the power steering pump on the driver's side, and down here you can see the pressure sensor for the power steering. Mine has some fluid on it, so I want to take that and unplug it, take a look at it. But first I'm going to take my battery cable loose. Battery cable has some corrosion on it, so I'm gonna clean that up. But while the battery cable is disconnected, that's gonna clear the codes out of the PCM. So when we reconnect it and check for codes again, we should be clear. Battery's disconnected, and to disconnect this plug, you're just gonna press in that little tab and give it a pull. And as you can see, there's fluid inside that connector. There's a piece of rubber also in there, so be careful not to lose it. It's a seal, but looks like what's happening is the pressure is going through my sensor, and it's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to be all contained within that sensor, so it's wet inside here, and that means we need to replace that sensor. Well, mine doesn't look all that bad. It's pushing a little fluid through the sensor, but I've seen in some cases it has pushed fluid through the wiring all the way up to the PCM, so just be aware of that. You can take this loose and just look inside. You can see mine's dry. So what I'm going to do is replace this known bad sensor with a new one that I have from O'Reilly, $31. To get the sensor out, you want to get a 3/4 inch wrench, put on the line, that way you don't bend your line, and then grab the sensor with a 7/8 wrench, and you can just squeeze them together like that. Here's my new sensor. You can see it has an O-ring, so my other one's loose. I'm just going to be quick so I don't lose fluid. Get this one out, new one in, tighten her back up. Just have a little brake clean with a straw on it. I'm going to spray that connector out and let it dry good before I reconnect it. Just have some baking soda and water here. Let this thing soak for a second. After soaking that for a minute, went ahead and poured some clean water on it, rinse off the baking soda. And I want to give you a better look here. You can just see fluid inside this. So there's usually some kind of silicone or some kind of material to protect the electronics from the oil, or in this case power steering fluid. Just over the years, this truck has 234,000 miles. No, 254,000. So it was time for it to be replaced. Just plug in my sensor here, connect the battery, recheck our codes. Should be cleared. New switch is in, battery's reconnected. Let's see if our codes are cleared. 3 turns of the key. You can see P done. That means our codes are cleared. Now I am about 99% sure that was my problem due to sensor having fluid bypassing through the sensor. I don't think I have any wiring or PCM issues, but not sure. I'm gonna test drive it, and like I said, over the week or so, if the check engine light comes back on, I know I have another problem, but I think we're good. Well, that's gonna do it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.